I'm sharing this because I know exactly how Ronnie feels. He says, "This has been a really shitty 3 years on tour for me. Wife and kids have been nothing but supportive." Well, I don't know that part. I don't know about a supportive wife and kids anymore. I mean, kid, yes. My boy is very supportive. He's only 7, so he doesn't know any better. But he loves going to the tournaments with me. Anyway, ton of advice, some good, some bad. I have a huge problem getting my ball forward off my hand. It's been my only focus, and it's hard to compete at the highest level. Last night with 6 frames to go, stumbled upon something with his shoulders. Says it's too technical to explain. And this shot is a result of good timing, tempo, and hand. Regardless of score, he's going to keep working, and when he puts it all together, the reward will be worth the pain. It's really been the same thing for me, except it's the opposite. I'm super forward and trying to get more around it, and he's super around it, trying to be more forward. If you could give us, like, we could combine our two ball rolls, we'd be. He's another example. It's not like he doesn't know where the ball's going. He makes good decisions, good shot making. But the problem is he can't get his ball to go through the pins the right way on these patterns. He's the extreme one way, I'm the extreme the other way. Now, while, yes, he can get his hand somewhat more forward at times, just like I can get my hand more around it at times, being super consistent and doing it in the right times is the hard part. And because neither one of us have enough experience with that opposite of what we were, it's hard to determine which balls are going to technically match up with that ball roll, that layout, that surface, that volume, that oil, that whatever in that moment. There's so many people out there that are just searching for the right answer. They're trying to find something, anything that clicks to make it to where you can compete week in and week out. Now, the difference between Ronnie and myself is Ronnie obviously has titles and he's seen a lot more success than I have. Granted, I've made shows and I've had some success. I've not won. So I feel bad for Ronnie because he knows what it's like to win, and so his expectations are to be competitive to win. The hardest thing to do is to adapt to that environment because you only get a couple of weeks to try to learn. It's not like this is a full year of bowling events where you can keep learning and adapting and changing. You get a handful of events to try to figure it out. And if you don't figure it out, oh well, try again next year. And then next year, you have no idea what the environment's going to be like. There's a reason you see guys, and like let's use Sean Rash for an example. Sean Rash had a stretch where he made pretty much every show. He won a bunch of events. And then all of a sudden he disappeared for a few years. Did he just forget how to bowl? No, the patterns, the tour, the environment, things changed that required him to adapt, in which he did, and then he started making shows again. He won a few more times, but he was never and still hasn't been as competitive as what he was when he was winning all those titles. Now, Sean's obviously always in the running for, making cuts and making match play and making shows and has a chance to win. Like, he's always kind of in that realm of the area of trying to be successful. But I promise you, his goal is not to just make cuts. Like, nobody's going out there just hoping to make a cut. Like, right now, I am, because I've been scoring so poorly and not really keeping up that now it's just to a point where it's like, okay, I'm lowering my expectations. I'm not out there, trying to have ball reaction to win. Like today, for example, I'm going out there I'm going to go grind and get my 50 over, and I'm going to make match play and see what happens. But so many people are quick to make comments on my posts, on Ronnie's posts, on Sean's posts. Maybe it's time to realize you're just not good enough for out there. Yeah, of course, we have that mindset every once in a while where we're like, yeah, maybe they're right. But most of the times, these comments come from people who can't carry our jock strap into a bowling center. I mean, it's real easy to just go and say, well, just do what EJ does. Okay, let me go ahead and get right on that. I have 6 events to try to figure out how to get my ball to do what EJ's does. Sure. I don't think people really understand how extremely different the environment, the patterns, everything that you're bowling on out on tour is compared to anything else. Like, some of y'all think that USBC Open Championships is difficult. You've not bowled on some of these patterns. And like, even the patterns you could recreate or download them and have your local center put them out at your house, they're still not even close to the same. Every single time I've put these patterns out at my local center, they play so much easier. But a lot of it is because you don't see the transition of all these players in front of you. That's the experience you need, is seeing how the patterns change and what's required and what you need to get your ball to do in those situations. You could sit there and bowl on these patterns at home and you're going to break them down and you're going to follow your own transition, but that's not going to be anything close to what you see out on tour, where you're following 50 guys who have a rev rate of 500 or better using surfaces of 1,000 or more, where the lanes are changing every 3 frames and you have to make adjustments on the fly, and then also make adjustments that get your ball to go through the pins differently on every single shot. Unless you happen to have that ball roll, that matchup that is going on in that week, that it just doesn't make you make all the changes you need to make. And that's what really is making EJ so great right now, is his adjustments are a lot smaller than some of our adjustments need to be. His adjustment is maybe move a little left and hit it harder. While that sounds easy, it's still not easy to do. It might be easy for him. I just say all this to get people to understand the complexities of what it takes to be successful at that level. I don't think most people really truly understand what it takes to be successful at that level. Just like most women don't understand what it takes to be successful at the PWBA level. Just keep that in mind before you comment on somebody's post that says, maybe you're just not cut out for this, while you're sitting in your chair, never have bowled a PBA event.